Góðan daginn. The Reykjavík Grapevine also has an online store. It funds our journalism. Get your Yule box so you don't get eaten by the Yule cat. Go to shop.grapevine.is, shop away, and support our journalism.
Góðan daginn and welcome to Iceland Roundup, where me, Sindri, and this time around Bart try to round up the last week of Icelandic news. Aðalsteinn is away.
Whatever.
Who cares?
The third person is kind of interchangeable to me in this podcast. I can never tell the difference.
Jesus Christ.
So what are you, like a writer?
Bart is the editor-in-chief of the Reykjavík Grapevine, Sindri.
And an old friend of mine. I make joke.
Maybe, Bart, you could move the mic so it doesn't like obscure your face on camera. Just pull it a little further back. Down like this.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Why can't he obscure his face? That's his God-given right.
That's my best look.
Yeah, if you feel like there's a bunch of LPs that like will obscure your face just in that shelf over there. If you feel like,
it's all
oh, cool. What do you got there? Yeah.
Prisoners of Geography.
That's not big enough.
No. Best angles.
There's like there's also like World War I stuff there.
Yeah, I saw the Gory Vidal thing.
I'm gonna bring some masks next
scan
week.
through that one when we do the old Hitler and Byron's bestie news articles. We'll just get out the Gory Vidal and just kind of pretend like I wasn't here.
Yeah.
The barbershop.
Yeah, I think that routine would look good if I was wearing a Nixon mask as well.
Yeah.
Oh man, I lost my Nixon mask.
Oh,
I had a Nixon mask for like most of my first 30 years.
You gotta have a Nixon mask. You just gotta have
I don't know why.
I don't know why. Yeah.
It was just around.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how I first knew who Nixon was.
Because you were wearing his mask for 30 years. As a toddler, like the mask could be down to your ankles.
Yeah, for the like previous time, the whole of me could fit inside a Nixon's hat. I don't know why. I have no idea.
I don't even know how you'd obtain a Nixon
No,
mask.
that's a fair point. I have no idea how we obtained that, but it was just in my household, and I had no idea why.
So is like a president's face like public domain? Like, does someone own the copyright to Nixon's face?
Seems like a free-for-all for everybody who wants to print the face mask of the president. I don't know.
So anyone can just make a mask out of anyone, and there's nothing you can really do about it.
If you're a public figure, maybe it's different.
We could be doing this with like Sumunda David masks every week, and there's nothing really stopping us.
It's really hard to get those extra chins in.
They sell those separately. It's like you got to glue it together yourself.
Jesus Christ, we've pissed off like 10 people and we haven't even started yet.
I'm sure SS will happily contribute hot dogs that we could just glue to the bottom of the mask. Since we're advertising them on the show.
He's not. He's a large man. He's not 10 people.
No, I was going to say we should probably clarify what SS
all
means.
All 10
to
of
you.
his supporters.
SS is short for Sláturfélag Suðurlands.
Of course.
Not
the South Coast Killing Company has
which is a slaughterhouse.
Danny Pollock
but
brilliantly translated it.
They provide the hot dogs for
by Asbestos. Yeah, they do.
Well, that's really an awkward.
That's an awkward twist of fate. Yeah. It's weird
that
they.
The day.
Yeah. Well, we could talk about branding and things that might be misunderstood for Third Reich stuff and Iceland.
We can't just let the Nazis own like 1/26th of the alphabet. Like SS needs
SS
to.
Back,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
My son eats Gothi. That's his.
They exist still.
Yeah. It's a good quality.
Who?
Salami.
Gothi.
Gothi.
Yeah, was that some Nazi war criminal I'm not familiar with?
No, he's my son.
Oh, sorry. Okay. My World War II history is patchy at best, and sometimes these references
I think he was called a Nazi war criminal at school though by the substitute teacher.
Oh, okay.
Colonialist, what was it?
Yeah, colonialist
like
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, if everyone wants to see an example of an evil colonialist, please
check out your local 13-year-old.
This American sitting right there.
Check out your local 13-year-old half Americans.
Yeah, he identified himself as American, which is colonialist, because he should have said United Statesian.
I'm not United Statesian. I feel that's a good one.
Well, he was. Yeah,
Isn't it time? Isn't it time for Americans to maybe start, identifying more with their state rather than the country? I feel like there's so many
depressed?
of you. There's so many of you that are just like so ashamed of being from there. It seems like maybe you could just
I guess
say
it
that
depends
you're from,
on what state you are, whether or not that's going to work out for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, our great writers are from Mississippi, so it's kind of.
But you can be from anywhere. It's just like politicians just like up and move to a new state and like, oh, now I'm in Congress here. And
Yeah.
We forgot to do the news.
Should we start by talking about since we're on the topic of the United States, we've gotten some emails here, or not only emails, but sort of like people who are in the situation of wanting to send Christmas presents to the United States.
Yeah. So,
which is
so for all of us foreigners who live here and have family in America, this is the time when you usually go to the post office and try desperately to get your Christmas packages back to America, and we can't do that because we're not allowed to use the postal service to America anymore
because of the tariffs.
Yeah.
They so this happened in September, I think, beginning of September, that the tariffs hit, and for whatever reason, the Icelandic Postal Service and all of the Scandinavian Postal Service, as far as I know, as of this point, are yet to figure out how the hell to work that with the United States.
Yeah.
So who's supposed to
So you can't
collect
mail anything from America?
You can mail things, but you cannot do it. You cannot mail it through the nation established
like USPS.
Well, like the local, like from Scandinavia in general, you can't use the old
So you got to use some corporate alternative. Is what you're saying.
So Christmas is canceled. There's a war on
DHL
Christmas.
Christmas is on it comes with a premium now because it's much more expensive to ship. But the Grapevine store, which we're trying to segue there into this, is sending stuff to the United States. So if you want to get your friends in the United States some Christmas gifts from Iceland, you can actually still do that from the Grapevine store. But the shipping is not cheap.
Yeah,
but it's
is
possible.
A follow-up to my meltdown this morning, trying to go to after the post office trip, and then realizing I have to use the Grapevine store for Aunt Joyce and all my family to send from my work instead, because I can't send anything through the post office anymore.
No.
That's where my salary is going this month.
Yeah, well, that's how your Christmas bonus evaporates, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so you use the Grapevine store because they have some kind of contract with, is it DHL? Or?
Yeah, it's DHL.
So they can ship things, but it's not cheap.
No, it's not cheap. And apparently DHL flies to the United States every day from Iceland, and they have somehow figured out some way of making this work. Don't ask me how.
But ideally, we could get the post office to work soon.
No update from them.
This will be the year.
The Icelandic post office?
Yeah.
You're optimistic. So they did. So they did call us when they had to close shop for the United States, and they told me when they called that they would be talking to us when they saw sort of the light at the end of the tunnel, which has not happened yet. So I don't know.
They're not the only ones who are failing to find that light.
No.
In the year of our Lord 2025.
So we should maybe talk about actual news, other news.
Other than canceling Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, other than Christmas being tariffed or something.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, how does this work for the North Pole? Are there tariffs on the
there
Santa
was some
sleigh?
kind of report. Well, obviously Norway is in the same boat, so that's the closest.
I mean, if they...
I don't think Santa pays any taxes.
No, but
you have to... libertarian piece of shit.
I have to...
If I ever...
You have to be mindful,
has his own fucking workshop,
Santa's
there's no laws up there.
Yeah,
he's got the nice and naughty list. I don't know. He's like...
We should point out that, some penguins somewhere in the southern hemisphere got tariffed. So
that's what I was
I
think
that...
Oh, yeah.
So like
a million Trump scandals ago.
So why...
The early days of January or whatever the fuck.
Well, if you can tariff the penguin, why... I think you can tariff a mythical figure, right? I mean, it seems as appropriate.
The Santa tax? Yeah,
Santa
that'll
tax.
go over well.
Santa tariffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, too few physicians in North Iceland for our sort of second story.
Yeah, and this is true throughout the country. Actually, we have a physician shortage.
Yeah, well, I guess we have maybe enough of physicians in the country, but not enough of them working for the state system sometimes. So it was reported just before this weekend.
Most of them are working as tour guides or
some private.
Well, they're doing private.
enterprise.
That's the thing. A lot of them. So it was reported before the weekend that Akureyri Hospital in north of Iceland was hardly operational because they had too few physicians currently working there, and it actually said that they're basically if nothing changes by December 23rd, they just won't be able to kind of operate.
Oh, that's horrific.
Yeah, and the situation is 3 doctors just quit because they said they were overworked, which piles on. And this also has to do with how especially hospitals and health clinics outside Reykjavík have been staffed for the past 2 years, which is through contractors and not through just employment in the legal sense. And it has turned out that this practice is, strictly speaking, not legal. So that has created some additional problems. And it relates to the story we had a few weeks ago about the chief of police of Iceland, who had been contracting some friend of hers that should have, for all sense and purposes, should have been like an actual employee, given her access and her tasks.
I've yet to hear anything about the gig economy that proves there's nothing positive about it. Basically, it's just
basically not. But I mean, generally, like staffing has been a problem in the healthcare system, like the official healthcare system here. And one of the things that was in the news not too long ago was that the hospitals in Reykjavík had been running on what they sort of self-define as an emergency mode for over a year now, which has to do with sort of staffing and how much pressure is on the hospital. So in general, we have a problem. And
for healthcare, you kind of want the exception to the rule on contractors because we need them. We both have huge conflict of interest because my family,
doctors,
my family in Iceland also are
physicians.
prominent physicians at the Landspítali. So
I mean, we all have interest in when it's
also
fucking hospitals. It's just like, I don't like to be seriously injured, and when I do, I like to be treated by doctors. So
I got the irony. I don't have any access to the healthcare system yet. I'm still a few months away from being able to access it.
Wow, and you go up and down these stairs like every day as well.
Yeah, how do you
We're on like the 4th floor of a rickety old building.
It's 6 months for those of you who move from outside the EU. 6 months till you can have healthcare.
Oh, outside of it, generally, actually, you're not registered. I think I was 6 months away when I moved back.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of a weird thing because when you move to Scandinavia from Iceland, you're immediately covered.
Yeah,
it's like a Scandinavian thing.
Because you're moving to like an actual country.
But if you move from Scandinavia
hospitals
to Iceland, you are not covered for like 6 months.
6 months.
By Iceland, but you do have like an EU coverage, so you're not like completely screwed.
So they'll chopper you to Ramstein Air Base or something.
No, but for us moving from America,
that's
it's a bit
different.
trickier. Yeah. So we have our emergency insurance, but the healthcare coverage, you're 6 months. It takes 6 months to start doing anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's about the amount of time it takes most Icelanders to do anything of note. It's just like, he got here about 6 months ago. I think I'll finally sign off on this paperwork.
Oh, the paperwork takes 14 months.
6 months plus.
My eyes are going dead, I think, during this. So, yeah. But
yeah, I guess you could say that the healthcare system is not the only government institution having problems in Iceland altogether.
Yeah, but their contracting of doctors has been. I know a lot of people in the medical system, and they love having, especially English doctors on contract, and it helps build a good environment in the emergency room. Again, I shouldn't be saying
because of their dry humor.
Yeah, I mean, I think because change of scenery can bring a lot of enthusiasm, and because as I was told, like having an expert at triaging of all things, and people who deal with kind of higher volume coming into the environment here really helps.
Oh yeah, I mean the whole the whole flow between Iceland and the rest of the world in terms of like people going from here to study there or people coming from there to work here is extremely beneficial to the healthcare system.
Yeah.
We wouldn't really have a functioning healthcare system if it wasn't like that, in the sense of like especially specialization, which we can't do only a limited amount of here.
Yeah.
And most of the people who are highly specialized in whatever aspect of medical whatever they studied either in America or in various parts of Europe, mostly Sweden.
And I know the emergency care doctors go to New Zealand for their residency.
Some do, yeah. That's, you can even...
That's the tradition.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different countries that people go to. A lot of people go to America. A lot of people go to Wisconsin.
Oh.
Madison. Yeah.
My alma mater.
Yeah. So that's a tricky situation, and I don't know. I mean, the current sort of what is the name of what's landlæknir in English? Chief surgeon or something? Chief
Surgeon General?
Yeah, something like that. That person is a former doctor, or she is a doctor.
I mean, I don't think, in Iceland it wouldn't qualify as a general. It would be more like a surgeon colonel. Yeah. Surgeon lieutenant.
Surgeon whatever.
Yeah.
Surgeon rescue.
The surgeon. Our one surgeon.
So yeah, our current, I was going to say...
By default, Surgeon General.
Our former Surgeon General is now Minister of Health. So I wonder, at least she knows the problems.
Yeah.
That's helpful. Solving them is a whole different thing. So speaking of institutional inadequacies in Iceland...
We're going to be here a while.
Yeah, it turned out that half of the municipalities in Iceland are without policy towards disabled people. So
this is following the law that passed, was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, so there's I'm going to open with this though. 15 years ago, the municipalities in Iceland took over the responsibility for servicing disabled people from the state. It's one of those things that the state has ceded to the municipalities.
This is a fancy way of saying nobody's going to do this anymore.
Yeah, basically. I mean, one of the things that have gone from state to municipalities is the school system 30 years ago.
And that's doing great.
Yeah, it's been kind of going downhill ever since, but it's a more complicated problem. But so, only half of those have taken up any policy towards services to disabled people. And in legalistic terms, this has not, strictly speaking, been a problem until just recently that Alþingi ratified the UN's Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. So, which in turn will make some of those lackluster non-policies illegal.
Yeah, now most of Iceland has to be defined as a prison camp in legal terms.
But I mean,
it's not been a great week for Iceland and the EU then, between this and the aluminum tariff.
No, with the UN's, not EU actually. Yeah,
sorry.
so it's a UN. But
I mixed up which violation we're doing today.
Yeah, and it's always some violation.
Which large foreign body we're pissing off.
Sorry, so we screwed up with the UN and the EU.
Yeah, I mean it's been known. I mean, I know attorneys who take on an endless amount of pro bono cases with regards to disabled people and the services they are not receiving from municipalities. And, those particular attorneys have told me that they almost feel bad about taking on these cases because the only thing that happens is they manage to take that person and shove them sort of in front of the line, knowing that the line just gets longer and somebody else gets shoved off because it's never really done properly. And it's a demoralizing thing. And, a lot of people who have disabled children or siblings or something end up basically having to take care of them for as long as they just physically are able to, because the
This was in the news too, right?
Yeah, this was also in the news. Because
taking care of disabled people is making people disabled.
Yeah,
in the news.
In a sense, yeah. Or, making them at least... I mean, how are you going to hold a normal job if you're doing that? It's a lot of different things. So it's generally like a a massive problem that isn't being apparently addressed properly.
So in this situation, you just end up moving to Reykjavík to get care.
There is also that some municipalities do better in this than others, but it comes down to the talk about like why do we have 5 municipalities in the general capital area of Reykjavík? Is it what? It's Reykjavík, Mosfellsbær, Kópavogur, Seltjarnarnes, and Garðabær, and Hafnarfjörður actually. So it's 6, because some of those municipalities do precious little in those categories. They just give,
really?
Yeah, so they just give somebody's having problems. They just, they basically bribe that person to move out of the municipality.
Jesus.
You're not joking.
No. So, and at the same time, they kind of get away with like lower tax rates because they're not really doing any services. This is excellent for them. Yeah.
Are we talking about Seltjarnarnes here, or?
I'm not saying.
Oh, you.
I'm not
okay.
pointing the
This got
finger.
dark. Reykjavík does a I feel a commendable job.
Well, they try, but they're still overwhelmed. Nobody's actually doing a good job. It's just various sort of like levels of bad job, in a sense. So yeah, it's
I feel like that can be applied in a broader sense to Iceland.
Do you know like outside of like
It's
I
just
wrote
the
these
various tiered levels of incompetency.
How does Alistair do this? Where does he bring cheer to this discussion usually? Because I feel like this is so dark.
I think
he brings like a dry, humorless tone.
Okay, then I'm
facts.
on brand then.
He's like our facts robot.
Okay.
Kind of.
Yeah.
He's also like he's never disappointed because he lost his sort of ability to be disappointed in things a long time ago.
Yeah, he lives in darkness.
Yeah, by
so
his own admission, he's just like, I believe in absolutely nothing anymore. Like nothing will ever change, and
I never expect people to do the right thing, etc. Yeah, he's been in the news business for a while without break. It's hard.
Oh, without break.
Yeah, it's hard. But he's doing well, considering all the soul crushing that must have sort of involved. Do we have any like?
I like to think I'm the idealist of the bunch, but I mean, I think that's a sure sign that it's not a happy group.
Just on
that,
that,
I spend most of my time, alone inside my house, and I'm not really exposed to the realities of day-to-day life.
No.
Does anybody remember any story from last week that was either cheerful or funny, or nobody? I'm just seeing if we have
the skating rink opened up.
Oh,
Yeah,
skating rink. Yeah,
I went skating on Saturday.
Also, the pond froze over yesterday.
Yeah,
and it's the unusual, completely like solid flat ice
all the way through.
It's beautiful.
Fucking cold as balls these days.
Yeah, there's a cherry story. It's really painfully cold. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it's great to like. It's a great
it
pond
is
to ice
pretty.
skate on. It's pretty. It's fun.
Oh, you can ice skate on the Tyrtland today.
Yeah, the pond is frozen over.
Okay.
Also, the lack of cloud cover that comes with such cold means that the planet Jupiter is very visible to the naked eye. And,
One
you
thing
can
I like to
fantasize
do
about living on other planets more easily.
when you walk your kids to school or your son to school, and I walk my daughter.
Yeah.
We like to count the stars on the way in because it's so dark, right?
Yeah.
So we're at 26 so far right now. I mean, that's the high. So it'll be even better tomorrow if it's.
It's going to be
cold.
better every day until the 22nd of December.
Yeah.
At that time of day.
As long as there's no.
As long as there's no cloud cover, it's going to get darker.
We'll
counting.
blast some cloud cover into the air New Year's Eve, I'm sure.
But as it gets colder, though, the moisture dissipates, right? So
it should be a bit more bearable. There's it's so moisturous now outside that everything has like a thin coat of ice over it.
it sure does.
Which means that it's slippery out there.
Yeah.
All the emergency rooms are probably fuller than usual.
With the one doctor.
With the one doctor who
He's on a contract for 3 months.
Yeah, it was on a contract and has an IV drip of amphetamines going on.
It's an interesting thing that I've learned.
I'm not going to say that though. I don't know any doctors on amphetamines. Just FYI.
and then anyway, but on the upside, it's great fun, and it's kind of unusual that it freezes over without like the ice itself becoming like rippled or stuff.
Right.
So it's
smooth.
it's a smooth ice, which is unusual. And if people are like, if anybody who's listening is actually in Iceland, I have a Swedish approach to this. So you take the kids,
Yeah.
you buy yourself a thermos, you fill it with boiling water,
I know what's coming next.
and then you dump as many hot dogs in there as you can.
So gross. And then you drink the water.
This is like his solution to every problem he encounters. Just bring some hot dogs in a
and,
thermos.
and when the kids are really getting cold on the ice, you can actually serve them a warm to hot dog.
There you go.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I can't bring my wife to orgasm. Have you tried hot dogs in a thermos? I'm trying to hide a body, Jonte.
Have you tried?
What statistics would Alstead say at this point? 4 hot dogs.
I think
4.2 hot dogs.
I would also
I think
like
he'd
to
probably just probably start talking about the difficulties of buying a new house or selling his house or something. That's usually what he starts talking about at this point.
But whatever thermos you dedicate to hot dogs,
you
make
don't wanna
sure
drink
you
hot
know
chocolate
which
from that
one
one.
that is, because you can never use it for anything else ever.
Well,
It's like, there's something about this coffee. I can't quite put my finger on it.
It's kind of like smoke and fat.
so, but yeah, the ice skating rink's open over here.
Yeah,
Right?
and then the pond is.
And it's
So
we
is
call
it a pond?
Is the
Like
tip
by
and the
your
pond.
American standard, is it a lake? You're from the lakey part of America.
It's not like Michigan, no.
Because I had people like Brits come here and it's like it's a bit big to call it a pond, you know.
But it's so shallow.
Yeah,
No, I would definitely.
it's more of a lake than a pond. I've heard from some people.
No, it's never.
I would
more
call it a
than
cross
like,
between a pond and a pool because it's so shallow and
Yeah,
it's
full
like a
of
reflecting pool.
yeah.
And full of In Wisconsin, we call it a duck pond because it's so full of duck lice, probably.
Yeah, I think like it's never
But it's
more
beautiful.
Than, yeah,
you ever fallen in there?
Well, Yondi and I had to go shoot some
video
for the Grapevine, and I was surrounded by swans, which I don't care for.
Did they push you in? It's like, it's a foreigner. Let's give him a hazing.
And people were giving the swans bread, which you should not do. It's not good for them. And so we're standing in like diabetic swan.
Are you gonna suggest giving them hot dogs?
Well,
Sweetest solution.
have you seen the small birds that live off of the hot dog stand here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they also eat the hot dogs themselves.
They all have like 1 foot because they all have diabetes.
It's a beautiful circle of life because they use those birds to make the hot dogs.
So there's like a fire escape on this office's outside the window on the second floor.
Good to know.
And it's good to know.
We have a fire escape?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, we should
Yeah.
probably do that in orientation because I was thinking about the pizza oven downstairs
Yeah, I sometimes think about that too.
and the smoke detector going off many times a day.
So anyway, there's like a fire thing there.
Yeah.
And so the birds sit there now and then. And
Yeah.
I've spent copious amounts at that like in that room.
Yeah,
And they're really round.
the birds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they look really depressed.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never
yeah.
seen birds that look so depressed. And their main
They should start putting some vitamins in those hot dogs.
Yeah, I think they should probably like put something like, I don't know, just add like, something to the mustard or something that actually has vitamins.
yeah. The swans all look like they had a smoking problem. They all look like, which is kind of disturbing. I don't know who's feeding them nicotine, but it was really
a lot of
weird.
cigarette butts in that pond. I
Yeah,
imagine.
there probably
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, and by now like these mouth tobacco things,
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
even more
Yeah.
potent than the cigarette
Yeah. God, those are horrible.
Yeah, so their swans all had nicotine
Talk
withdrawal.
about plague on our fucking society, man.
butts. Yeah. Anyway, should we segue this into the thing about the famous Icelandic hot dog stand?
So
thing?
that's the
I
happy
feel like we
news?
already
Oh,
have.
dear.
Yeah.
No, no.
Now
it was.
if you were depressed before,
So we did explain how the manufacturer of Icelandic hot dogs is called Sláturfélag Suðurlands, or SS for short.
The South Coast Killing Company.
Well,
Slaughter.
Heimildin ran a story this past week, and I was going to ask Alasted, but he's not here on details.
I'm sure between the two of us, we can approach, a reasonable facsimile of Alstead.
Alstead?
Yeah.
He's a smart guy.
So
I don't. I think
He
I
is.
don't know.
He is.
Actually, when he walks out of the office doing these podcasts, and I'm sitting there doing editing, which is my usual job, he comes out looking shell shocked often, and like desperate for a nap. And I understand now
Exactly how it feels.
why?
Yeah.
Because every news story is harder than the previous one.
Well, we've had good weeks when
Yeah.
I seem to only pick up like stories about really funny interactions with the police or something. Somebody getting
Like
I
the
don't know.
search and rescue stuff, that's usually a happy story.
Well, yeah, they usually
Yeah.
end well. I mean,
remarkably, yeah.
Yeah.
and I think we should probably point out on that topic. There's a bunch of search and rescue stories that I didn't add in here because there's one going on right now. They were rescuing people from Skessuhotn, which is like a very prominent mountain next to Borgarnes in west of Iceland.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're always at it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
about
if
4
you
rescues
wanna-
a day. I was
Yeah.
talking with them because we're trying to do a feature story on them, and they don't respond to phone calls or emails, or even when I barge in, because they're usually rescuing people. It's 3 to 4 rescues
It's a
per
lot of-
day.
And it's a volunteer organization, which makes
Yeah.
it kind of incredible. And they're all, it's kind of decentralized because every small town has their own search and rescue team,
Yeah.
and they live off of selling fireworks and and
they're funded
Returning
by
cans.
firework sales.
returning cans.
cans.
Yeah.
I mean, they are like,
And
it's crazy how this state pillar of Icelandic society
is
self-funded.
is
The
self-funded.
yeah, I mean, the
The
aluminum
mon-
can is basically our
Wait,
currency.
we could have the doctors return cans, and then
Then that would
don't
solve
have to
that.
do
That would be who needs like the states? Who needs taxation? No, so it's interesting because I guess it's kind of like it comes from scarcity. I think it comes from the fact that you're living out there and shit happens and somebody
for
has to-
search and rescue.
Yeah,
That they are self-funded. Yeah, I mean, it's a drive beginning in 1918, right? And then, obviously at that point, the state wasn't getting much money. So
No, there was no
something
money.
about, I don't know how, even though I am American, I don't know how colonizing works, but it seems like maybe when you're a colony, you don't really get a lot of domestic help.
no, but I mean we like places like Iceland and say Norway were like the poorest places in Europe at that time. Like
Yeah.
Norway was poor as fuck. They only got like into like some good money in the 70s.
Christianity only gets you so far.
Well,
you gotta find that oil.
Yeah, got him all the way into the 70s at least. But so yeah, I mean it's kind of necessary. That's why those exist, and they come from the fact that somebody has to do this, and
Yeah.
it's a shared effort. Everybody kind of does it. So everybody I know in the countryside usually is in search and rescue. Some of them also drive like the either the ambulance or the fire truck, which is
Yeah.
also a volunteer thing usually to an extent. And for these volunteer organizations like search and rescue, I mean, the money they do get, they don't spend on salaries; they spend them on equipment.
Right.
Which, admittedly, sometimes they definitely sold a lot of fireworks because you're looking at those trucks going like, "Holy hell, that wasn't cheap." But they're not.
Yeah,
but
I
they're
mean,
necessary. That's the
yeah.
point.
Exactly.
I mean, you have these like 44-inch tire, like modified huge ass fucking trucks, but that's exactly what you're gonna need if you're gonna go rescue
Cross a
somebody.
river, yeah.
And if you're gonna rescue somebody in the middle of the Highlands in January, you're gonna need some fucking gear for that. Yeah, it's an incredible thing, but I guess it's what what is the institutional equivalent for this in like say in the United States or Scandinavia? Isn't it like the army or the
Yeah, it's traditionally the National Guard,
National
right?
Guard,
for these,
yeah.
for these emergency situations, I guess. Also Rangers, which is obvious in the news because the Park Service lost a lot of funding in the United States, right? So I guess maybe this is a model the United States could turn to.
just self-funded. Yeah.
It's hard to even think about that. Yeah, it was depressing enough staying domestic.
Yeah, I
We're
just
going
saw your
international,
I
so
saw
we
your
go.
soul just leave your body when you started thinking about that thing you just said.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I've spent a lot of time hiking in the United States. The resources aren't quite what they are here. So surprisingly, even though it's self-funded, the resources are really, really strong here. I think our fatality rate is pretty high
In the US.
In the U.S.
Well, one of the advantages of these sort of self-organized search and rescue things is that you have one in every sort of, area of the country or every small village, which means that if somebody gets lost in and around that area, you actually have people who really know that area searching for you. So they're coming in, they know sort of where to look, so to speak. They know it. I mean, it's they're searching in the same areas they like herd their sheep from in the fall, so it's convenient.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess that was like a positive note.
That we have people that save people all the time here.
Yeah.
On there
Right?
for free. I mean, just by volunteering.
Yeah, it's great.
And doing extra volunteering to pay for their volunteering.
Yes, it's an incredible
To
thing.
the degree of like picking up cans and returning them. It's pretty, it's insane.
It's insane.
It's great, but exhausting to even think about the effort they're putting in.
Yeah, it is. But it's a great way to build community. Like,
I would think, yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
In doing research for the feature, I know that you can join as a foreigner.
Yep.
And for foreigners interested who have some Icelandic, it's kind of the best mountaineering course you could ever do. Is the course they give you. It's 150 hours, so it's a lot of classroom time. But so for those people looking,
Well, it's a lot of field time actually.
that too, yeah.
Yeah, they will like make you camp in winter and do all sorts of difficult stuff, orientation stuff and whatnot. So it's like a solid course in how to survive out there.
Yeah. So Iceland has some good news. Now we're gonna go back to the bad news. I'm gonna wince.
Yeah, well, there's one funny thing I think. So there was a poll recently saying that 55% of Icelanders want a special investigations into the doings of the state's special investigative prosecutor.
Yeah.
Which so the state's special investigative prosecutor was a special investigative office set up following
Extra special.
following the 2008 economic collapse to like investigate that, and it has had some tumultuous moments, and so 55% of Icelanders want to investigate the investigation office. And
the other 45% are the special investigation squad, so they're done working for now.
And then some parliamentarians also wanted an investigation into the investigation committee that wrote a report for Alþingi in 2010 on the reasons of the economic collapse. So we have an investigation thing.
Yeah.
Rest assured, we're looking into it.
So
Or
it's like
we're looking into it.
So it's like a perpetual motion machine.
It is, but there's so much frustration over the 2008 collapse still, probably.
Yeah, but now
And I think maybe people are seeing what's coming next. I mean, the forecasts, we
Don't
haven't
look
talked
great,
about it,
yeah.
but the forecasts were released about the financial future of the country, and they don't look good.
I feel like there's a sense as well that people don't really seem to acknowledge or understand that this was like a global thing that was happening back then. They feel like it has like some sort of localized source or cause that can be corrected.
Well, like the 2008 collapse, much like there's a thing we can point to in recent economic history. We've had a massive inflation recently, right?
I'm sure we have.
Yeah.
Everything's getting more expensive. That's what inflation means,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so since
I'm
we need
familiar
Alistair
with
to
that.
explain that.
Since 2022 we've had like a pretty high inflation rate. We've always had a high inflation rate, but it was very high.
Yeah.
And it correlated with high inflation in the rest of Europe because of the war in Ukraine bumping up energy prices. So we had like a similar thing going on, but for completely different and completely homemade reasons, because we don't have the energy problem, because all our energy is here. And in the same sense, a lot of the economic collapse was completely local. Like
This was what was talked about in our feature with Adam Gordon.
yeah, like
Um,
we screwed ourselves, and it just, as it happened, it coincided in time with the rest of the collapse, because
Is
some
that
of
really coincidence?
No, I mean there are factors that
the monkey see, monkey do. I don't think, when it comes to shit like this, Iceland never comes up with anything. We're always just like, trying to replicate what's going on abroad.
We
Yeah,
have
but
a uniquely fragile economy based on the kind of neoliberal policies set forward by
Oddsson?
David Oddsson,
Yep.
which we awkwardly referred to as Odsonian, but we didn't want to say Davidian because it seemed weird.
Yeah, that is weird. But David Oddsson, who's currently the editor of Iceland's sole remaining daily newspaper, Morgunblaðið, he was one of was it the Time magazine's list of the 10, 20 most
culpable for the
economic collapse of 2008.
Yeah, he's frequently identified. His quotes, more than his policy, I feel like, are the basis for these what do you call it, postmortems on the collapse, because he would say things that were pretty staggering, especially on English television, about never paying somebody for not working. These kind of policies that didn't exactly reflect Iceland's actual policies.
No, just didn't reflect them at all, I think.
But he was really pushing for...
reflected nothing of substance. It's nice that he gets to sort of live to see his reputation, torn apart like this.
Well, that was in the international media. I'm not sure what will happen locally.
Something tells me he doesn't pay a lot of attention to criticism, though.
I don't know. I mean, I guess some of the other sort of his contemporaries.
When you have your own fucking newspaper to chuff you up and tell everybody what a good boy you are, you don't really have to give a shit what anybody else has to say.
It's difficult because I almost long for the days of Davíð Oddsson, given the current political climate in Iceland. We didn't talk about what's on the rise here, and it's not the independent. It's not Sjálvstæðisflokkurinn. It's
something else.
It's racism.
Yeah, with David, for all his flaws, I don't feel like he explicitly outed racism.
No, and I mean he ushered us into the European Economic Area, basically like a halfway house to the EU,
right?
In 1992, and made us kind of more connected to international trade and stuff. So he was not like a isolationist kind of a guy in his policies.
And his attitude towards the media, I thought, was by today's standards progressive. I mean, we at the Grapevine, under my editorship, attacked him frequently. We called him a gangster rapper, we said, and some other not nice terms, because we were afraid of his economic policies and we thought there was going to be a comeuppance. And I felt like he tolerated us. I mean, I was here on a visa, and he his party members would interact with us, but we weren't threatened by them. Whereas I feel like in today's political climate, that would not be the way things would go.
Maybe not. No, I mean,
not from Christian. I'm saying
no. But we have cases of people, parliamentarians, sort of questioning whether or not these or those should, in media, should be allowed to get a media grant, for an example.
Yeah.
Or whether or not somebody
Martin
has to
being attacked for being on the roof because he says just the most middle of the road kind of policies. God bless Gisli Martin. I know he's working hard, but he's not really shaking any.
No, I mean he's not going as hard in his comments as he could easily do, and they're still pissed off.
What is he saying? Just street lamps should have bulbs, dogs are
the people
animals.
you interact with. Yeah, humans are humans.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah, I mean, in a failing state as the one described by your infrastructure, you need to say sensible, obvious things just to keep shit running, to keep the lights on.
Well, there's a basic humanity to his show, and that is viewed as offensive by some.
Yeah, so for
it
context,
is deeply offensive.
Yeah.
So for context, Gisli Martin is kind of the only late night show we have, which isn't that late, and it's the only regular TV thing that kind of.
But when the sun sets at fucking 3:00,
Yeah, it's hard to explain to foreigners, right? Because they can't access it. You can't access.
No, it's only in Icelandic.
No, also you can't access
it. No, yeah, you can't see it. Yeah, but it's so he has this weekly show on the state broadcasting company on Friday nights, which has the political jokes a bit, and then just panel interviews with people
Very moderate, though, political
Very
jokes. I would almost say like Jay Leno level, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was sort of his role model, I'm guessing. Like, just like do something that everyone can agree on.
Apparently that's a hard thing to reach. Nobody.
Yeah, it's in 2025.
Yeah, it's difficult.
And he crossed the line by I don't know what, and he's been attacked.
I think
he said it was slightly cold outside, maybe, and the center party said that it was the foreigners' fault, that it was.
And that global
immigrants are to blame for the weather.
Yeah, but did we not really address the famous Icelandic hot dog stand? Should we just skip that altogether?
I mean, the famous Icelandic hot dog stand is addressed, so often on this show that I feel like
I'll just say
it wouldn't really be an episode of Roundup without talking about the hot dogs.
I'll just say what the news said, and then we can go directly to North Korea.
You can regurgitate them like a hot dog.
No, so
on a Saturday night,
the CEO of the world famous hot dog stand apparently was resharing some Hitler apologetic videos on TikTok. He was approached by a news reporter, and he said he could not remember having done that. So.
Oh, he did. Okay, well.
Yeah, I mean, fair. I mean, we've all like if you've been on TikTok for like 5 hours, you're not
brain death caused will make you do
I
all
think you
sorts
are
of
not responsible
things.
for your actions, really.
Yeah, it's like drinking a glass of bleach. Just the effect it has on your brain.
Yeah, it's almost like snorting a glass of bleach.
Oh yeah, it's a subtle difference, but
I didn't go to mental school here, so I guess I don't know the difference between the two.
It's a clearer high, but you have less recollection.
We're gonna have a subscribers only episode about that.
About Laugarvatn and how to snort bleach.
Yeah, can you buy like bleach on the Grapevine store?
Bleach on the rocks.
Yeah, bleach on the rocks.
You can buy the rocks.
Opal flavored bleach.
You can get the rocks, not the bleach.
I am the only foreigner on this podcast, and I'm the only one shivering because you have single pane windows and the wind is just coming straight through.
Yeah, I turned this off because usually it gets unbelievably hot in here, but this is just like the worst temperature controlled room in the universe.
Luckily, I have a thermos here full of hot dogs.
Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, I may or may not have inserted some of those hot dogs into my various orifices earlier, so
we're screwed.
Yeah, the heat is like throbbing through me right now.
There you go.
Here, feel my hand. No, don't do it.
Okay, good.
So the last
too oily.
The last piece of news I wanted to talk about, but which I was actually relying on Alasdair because it was in his
He does more around here than I realized.
Yeah,
I'm learning that.
Turns out he has facts.
Yeah, he has like facts.
I think the last piece is actually something we featured in our newspaper too, though.
North Korea.
Yeah, it was actually in our. We had Hallgrímur Helgason, famed novelist, and screenwriter, poet, artist, and
painter.
Longtime friend of me. He contributed an op-ed in which he referred to what you're just about to say.
Hallgrímur Helgason is like the Icelandic, like who would you say?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Kind of an Orson Welles. I mean, he's like, I don't know. He's like bigger than life, and he genuinely good guy, but kind of he lives so big that it ruffles a lot of feathers sometimes. I feel like I really liked his paintings a lot. They used to kind of bring me relief when they used to be.
Yeah, he even had like a comic strip for.
That's what I was going to say. Is Grimm? Is that his comic strip?
Grimm, yeah.
Grimm.
Very grim.
And that would be in Fréttablaðið, was it? Or
oh yeah,
it was before Fréttablað's time, wasn't it? It was like Mockin, right?
I mean, he would do these exhibitions at the turn of the century with those grim figures as the sort of subject. I guess he did some comic strip, but I don't remember like which decade it was. But it was related to, it was the same sort of character.
You're in the middle of one of his books right now, aren't you?
It's always so hard to gauge what period it was in his career because he's been bald for so long. Like if he would just have if he would have if he would have just made the artistic decision to lose the hair at some point in his career, I feel like it would be easier to separate him into eras.
Well, he's also been productive for so long. He's also been like the enfant terrible for so long.
Yeah.
It's great, but it's also exhausting.
I hate to bring this up, but it's kind of Bubbi also being bald, also having a long career, did though manage to like give us this sort of this point in history where he went from like hair to no hair.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just gonna.
And Bubbi is in the news, and I'm exhausted because the worst thing that I can say about my time at the Grapevine is that I gave him possibly the best review of any record.
Kona is a good album.
On Kona, and now he's re-releasing it on vinyl.
Yeah.
And his public persona aggravates me to no end.
Yeah, I reviewed that one too for the Grapevine. When it came out, the CD re-release in like 2005 or 6 or something.
That explains it.
What?
No, we were.
I don't get that. Was that a joke at my expense?
I looked at it and I was like, how did I write a positive Bubbi review?
Yeah,
and it was you.
It was me.
Thank God.
I wrote that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I like that album.
Yeah, it's a good album. It is very good, and it's being released on vinyl, so he's in the news. For once, not about his anger that anybody speaks English in schools, which he thinks is awful that he heard English in schools, not realizing that it takes a couple days to learn Icelandic.
What is it about fucking Gen Xers, and I guess even older
He's a
people?
boomer.
Yeah, older people that it's so horrifying to them that they have to speak some English sometimes when they leave the fucking house. Like, how is this the end of the world?
Yeah.
They just it's an inability to see things from other people's perspective. It's just like, you speak English, why don't you just speak English to them? These people, like you have
time.
like a language in common. They don't get to speak their native language usually to you.
Right. Or what Bubbi could do is he could go to like Oyster Bar School, where my son goes 4 hours a day to try to learn.
Yeah, and get his fucking ass kicked.
Oh,
that'd be good for him.
I was going to say he could show them that Iceland is a living
check.
language, and with his early songs, he could say, "Look, this is Icelandic. You can make great art with it." And that would maybe engage people.
Yeah.
And I think if you took out his early records, you could engage people and show them the greatness of Icelandic, and that would maybe help people because there's not a lot of people showing how it's a living language.
I have a positive anecdote here. My math teachers in mentaskóli had this story. He was like, he was probably born in the 40s, and he was saying like he was listening to the radio one day, and Utagarsmenn, Bubbi's first band, came on.
Yeah.
And he could not believe.
This is like 70s punk for
like,
those
yeah,
not
it's
in the
like
know.
early 1980. He could not believe that you could, like, up until that point, nobody had used Icelandic in this context. And he could not believe his ears.
Exactly. I was just going to say this, that people were so shocked.
Yeah, so
at the way he used Icelandic. And like listening to it now is like, there's nothing wrong with this. This is better Icelandic than I've heard spoken by anyone.
No, the thing is, like, the Icelandic isn't that bad. That's not the point. Mm-hmm. It's like it was being used sort of very aggressively in music, and it was just nobody had done that before. See, he trailblazed, bless his soul.
Yeah, and in the uniquely Icelandic way of trailblazing, by where you just copy like a foreign thing, and
we say that because we're all listening to the Briet album in the at the office, Cowboy Killer.
Okay,
and we're trying to find.
Is it great?
Hope.
No.
Okay, so it's not the most original thing in the world, right? But like when Bubbi trailblazed and did, I know he was copying, but he did it very, very well.
Yeah, he won't let anyone forget that.
And I wish I could, and I wish I could say he was bad at it, but and when Briet does like English language country, at least she's very talented. Like she's actually doing it pretty well. So he had talent. Yeah, he probably still has talent. I
hate to admit it, but when like a song of his comes on, like when I'm at the fucking supermarket or whatever, it's like his voice really cuts through. Like especially over the years, he's really honed it into this sort of style, and
the phrasing. It's that's not stuff that comes easy.
He's a well-trained singer, I'd say.
He's self-taught. I think
he actually took lessons.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it can't be otherwise.
Later in his career, you mean?
At some point, it must be because
I don't think he found time between the moonshine
binges. This is the weird thing about Bubbi, which is like I think he actually took lessons in the 70s.
Oh, he has a fancy family name, so yeah, he must come from money.
No.
I don't know about that.
Nope. And he was also doing powerlifting at the same time. So he was ripped in the 80s because he was doing powerlifting along with being like a punk rock star and taking singing lessons.
Well, I think his phrasing reminds me a little bit of like Chuck Berry in that when you're really neurotic or really working at it, you can wrap words around the song perfectly, and I feel like Chuck Berry is like the master of that, and I feel
it's like a barrage. It's like the yeah.
That is not easy what Bubbi is doing, and I give him credit for that. And I don't think they can teach when you do like singing lessons. It's usually more about the timbre and what you're breathing and stuff, and that's not what he's doing. He's doing just immaculate phrasing that is pretty impressive.
So for our foreign listeners,
Who's
so
Bubbi Mortens?
Bubbi is the musical soul of Iceland, I guess.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
He's
And it's Bubbi. You can look him up on streaming services and figure out what we're talking about.
I mean, I think for lack of a better alternative, he managed to sort of fill, a variety of roles.
The Bruce Springsteen role. In a sense.
the Morrissey role, and then maybe
which ones? Okay, let's not get into that. But yeah, I mean,
the pompous.
He's
buffoonery.
But now he's also the he was like the Icelandic Idol judge, right? Or
yeah. He's done all. I mean, it's a small country.
Really
There's a limited pool of talent.
And when there's like 5 celebrities, he gets a lot of phone calls.
He is one of those people who has been sort of musically and lyrically, I think, and I'm sorry to say this to the two of you, has done a great job of
at least we're listening. Else they would be asleep by now.
Encapsulating like how it feels to like live and grow up on this island. He does that pretty well.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like the working man's kind of a singer-songwriter. So he kind of has like a bit of sort of Bruce Springsteen aura about him in that sense.
Yeah.
And there are good songs there. So like even though most of them are in Icelandic.
I sold Bubbi. I sold quite a few Bubbi records when I was working at the record store, and like foreigners are surprisingly like intrigued, even though they don't understand the lyrics. It's just like I tell them a little bit about him, and I put on some of it, and thanks to our overlords at Alta Music, his extensive collection is now available on
universally
vinyl.
Available, yeah.
Yeah, and because he just went through so many phases. I think there's a little bit there for everybody. There's punk and there's post-punk and there's like chill, folky guitar stuff, and
very high production level punk.
Yeah. There's a reggae album.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't want to mention that.
Let's not toss that word around too liberally.
No, but I mean,
there's no there's like a word for like. There's like blue-eyed soul, but there's no word like that for reggae, like a polite way of saying like a white guy trying to
blue-eyed balls. Anyway, but so
I wish.
So that's Bubbi, who is, I mean, one of the most Icelandic things ever to record. I think there's something very Icelandic about him. I don't know what it is, whatever it is. Bríet, the other person mentioned here, because people complain about us mentioning musical artists on this show every now and then.
Oh, really? And people love it.
And they have a hard time figuring out.
Alistair complains.
Yeah. They have a hard time figuring out who they are. So Bríet is B-R-E. No,
B-R-I-E-T.
Yeah. B-R-I-E-T. So since we did the whole right,
and she's got an awesome video for her song. The song "Cowboy Killer" is.
About a cowboy that gets killed.
Well, it's about her personal relationship, as she's told us in detail. I think she explains her songs a little bit too much.
Yeah, that's never a good idea.
I wish. Yeah, I wish this wouldn't happen. She's also kind of a friend of the newspaper. She's
great. I mean, she was on the back page of the last issue.
Yeah, she helped us out. Yeah,
with that, and I mean, I have seen she's a great crowd pleaser in her live shows. I took the kids to one of her shows here a couple of years ago, and
they brought of her generation, perhaps.
She brought my daughter with a lot of other 6-year-olds on stage to do a sing along. It was terrific.
She's kind of an obvious talent.
She was on our cover this June also.
And we're just sitting here trying to, well, we do with all the records we get that come out in Iceland. We listen to them over and over again, trying to figure out
How to say anything good about them?
No.
how to give up accurate appraisal.
Yeah.
And this,
It's a bit of a struggle, isn't it? Because, contextually, it's so difficult, and it invites, like, a whole new level of analysis to separating the artist from the art, and, like, can it really be done? Is there any reason to do so?
yeah. But that said, as we struggle to understand what to say about Cowboy Killer, or Act 1, I should say, her EP, the video is really cool. And you don't need to know anything about Iceland because it's all about
Killing cowboys?
No, it's just all kind of like a pop art take on Nashville, kind of almost southern culture on the skids. It's just a really pretty thing to see. I don't know. It aggravated a lot of people in the office too, but I think it's a really cool video.
So just to give sort of a left balance to the right-wing news we just had on TikTok here, there was also an interview in Heimildin, which I'm just going to mention, about this guy who ran for office for the Icelandic Socialist Party, which has never gotten a parliamentarian in, who went on a field trip.
Could you look at me because this is my fault?
Who went on a field trip to North Korea to celebrate, I think, the 80th anniversary of the North Korean Communist Party or something. And
And what an 80 years it's been.
And it's just a stunningly funny piece because the quotes are kind of funny. He was saying that North Korea is a prosperous country and saying otherwise, the South Korean secret service is like propaganda or something.
Well, prosperity is a pretty vague term, I think. The fact that North Korea still exists is, by some standards, a pretty impressive feat.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the biggest.
It's more prosperous than.
I think it's the biggest sort of open air incarnation.
Incarnation?
What is the biggest open air jail in the world, basically?
Oh.
Incarceration.
Incarceration was the word. Sorry.
Sorry, I guessed wrong.
Incarnation would be. I don't know what North Korea is an incarnation of what.
So reincarnation of
Stalin.
Of Cole the Conqueror.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, what is he, was he saying that just like he was offered wine and women at every turn, or that, he got to look at some office buildings, or, I mean, what happened on the tour? Like what left him with this opinion? Was he comparing it to rural Icelandic infrastructure? I mean, I think that's a pretty low bar. I think he's never heard of
Potemkin villages. I think that's probably the thing.
You said rural Icelandic villages. Did we point out where he's from?
He's from the east.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is traditionally.
Well, there's a town in the east, jokingly and half jokingly or not jokingly at all referred to as Little Moscow, called Neskaupstaður. I'm not sure he's from there, but
because you can get a bitchin' borscht there.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
But it's no, you cannot. But it's.
Oh, you've tried it.
Yeah. It's an interesting town. I've spent some time there because the only reason why the main hospital for the East is there is because those commies just built their own hospital before anybody else in the 50s. So that's why they have a hospital there, which is.
They needed it with all that bad borscht.
Yeah, I guess so. So it's a great little town. I love it. So I guess
Dennis Rodman seems to have more credibility than this gentleman, because at least Dennis Rodman, even though he hangs out in North Korea sometimes, he doesn't say it's great. It's that's disappointing.
I bet it was hard to find someone to like maintain his haircut while he was there.
Dennis Rodman's?
Yeah.
Well,
it's just like, keep the bleach, just this shade on that side, and then, maybe a little bit of blue here, and they're just like, what the fuck is this? You can picture a North Korean hairdresser just like, I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, I guess, how do you get away with like looking like that all day? And the answer is like, you're good at basketball? That's weird. Anyway, I think we're done.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over. I think next time I'll try to like pick up some like more cheery news pieces if we have any.
No, man, it's just telling it like it is. What we need is a better fucking country. Yeah, you think we're good. you know, but we would be so much better if we had a better country to talk about.
Well,
so it's not really our fault.
I mean, let's also, you know, let's be mindful of the fact that this place doesn't suck that bad at all. It's actually pretty great. Like when we're complaining
compared
about
to North Korea, yeah.
when we're complaining about things, it's kind of like it's a lot of, we have a lot of first world problems, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like there's not a like raging famine here, or you know, some people are not getting the services they should get, etc.
Yeah, as a person who chose
I
to
ordered
live
an
here.
Irish coffee
Yeah,
on Saturday that I'm pretty sure was just hot chocolate with whiskey.
Ooh. Oh.
Yeah, that should like make everything feel better, right?
But it's not what I ordered. I ordered
I'm
I wanted
sorry.
caffeine.
Yeah, that's the classic thing here. You don't get what you want, you get what you need.
This is an outrage. That's my first world problem for the last weekend.
Well, thanks for listening and watching.
Yeah, we're never less than fascinating, are we?
Never less than fascinating, delivering impeccably detailed news from Iceland to you, to all of you. See you next week.
Hair-raising detail.
In hair-raising detail.
Actually, I think it's just cold in here.
yeah.
It's really cold.
See you next
It's gonna
week.
look like The Exorcist soon. Stuff coming out. Also, my head's gonna twist.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Góðan daginn. The Reykjavík Grapevine also has a store. It funds our journalism. It sells all sorts of stuff, including specially curated gift boxes, just like the famous Icelandic hot dog box. Go shop there now and fund our journalism.